Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. Former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has warned that American tariffs and economic pressures and coercion risk pushing Canada's auto sector closer to China. Speaking at a CNBC event in Singapore, Trudeau recalled how nearly a decade ago, competitive pressures from Boeing and Airbus almost drove Canadian aerospace company Bombardier into China's arms. He noted that China offered substantial financial support when Bombardier struggled, and that his intervention at the 2017 G7 summit eventually led to Airbus acquiring a majority stake in the C-Series program. Trudeau drew a parallel to the current situation, where U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs on the Canadian auto sector are compelling Canada to explore closer ties with China. This follows Canada's 2024 imposition of 100% tariffs on Chinese-made electric vehicles, matching a U.S. move. However, in 2025, after new U.S. duties, Prime Minister Mark Carney secured tariff relief for Canadian agricultural sectors in exchange for allowing up to 49,000 Chinese EVs into Canada at a reduced rate. Trudeau emphasized that such bad faith competition among allies only benefits countries that do not share democratic values. This report comes from City News Everywhere. The Canadian press reports that the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, has laid charges against consultant Andrew McDermott and his company, AM Government Consulting Inc., for fraudulently overbilling the federal government. Both face 2 counts of fraud over $5,000. The investigation began in 2021 after Public Services and Procurement Canada identified suspicious billing practices. Evidence indicates that McDermott submitted fraudulent timesheets on various Shared Services Canada contracts, leading to overbilling between May 2020 and June 2022. Public Services and Procurement Canada also suspended the security status of 3 subcontractors in 2024 due to suspected fraudulent billing. Canadian and U.S. stock markets experienced a downturn on Thursday, influenced by persistent oil price volatility and heightened geopolitical instability. The S&P TSX Composite Index, Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500 Index, and NASDAQ Composite all registered declines. Despite this, Adam Ludwig, Director of Asset Allocation at NEI Investments, noted the market's resilience over the past 3 to 4 weeks, suggesting today's dip is a minor pullback. Equity markets have largely remained unfazed by the oil price shock stemming from the Middle East conflict, even as the June crude oil contract rose. Geopolitical tensions include U.S. military actions against Iranian oil smuggling and threats regarding the Strait of Hormuz. Lululemon Athletica Inc. and Tesla also saw their share prices drop, while Texas Instruments' strong performance helped limit Wall Street's overall losses. This report is from the Canadian Press. The Canadian federal government has filed an application in federal court to prevent the disclosure of certain evidence in the ongoing trial of Iain Hunt in British Columbia. The government asserts that releasing this information would be injurious to national security. Iain Hunt is facing charges related to indignity to human remains, following the discovery of his wife Trina Hunt's burned remains near Hope, BC, in March 2021. Her disappearance was initially reported in 2021 from their Port Moody home, and the case later became a homicide investigation. Authorities announced charges against Hunt in February 2025. The Attorney General of Canada notified the court in November 2025 about the sensitive nature of the evidence. This report is from the Canadian Press. Radio-Canada International reports that a joint investigation by CBC News and Radio-Canada's decrypteurs has uncovered a network of YouTube channels promoting Alberta separatism. Run by individuals based in the Netherlands, these faceless channels, which primarily aim to generate passive income through AdSense, hire actors to present misleading and sensationalized views on Canadian politics. One such actor, Matt Berry, discovered his audition video was used without permission or pay on the Canadian Politician channel, expressing his distress as he is not a separatist. Another actor, Paul Nichols, also featured on Canadian Hub, agreed to be paid but has not received funds. Two of the individuals linked to these operations, Don Jurgers and Meridan Macias, denied involvement, with Macias even claiming his social media profiles were being altered. Digital clues suggest some creators attended an online course teaching how to profit from faceless YouTube content. The Media Ecosystem Observatory identified 20 such channels, collectively accumulating approximately 40 million views, which they describe as slupaganda that exploits political divisions for money. YouTube states it does not allow deceptive practices, and several identified accounts are now unavailable. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.